it's tricky because it all comes back to where a company is in their growth, in their life cycle, in their journey, right? So some companies, some MSPs, right, are two dudes just slinging bits this way and that way, and they're making it happen, and it's word of mouth, and they're like just on fire, and they're busy 24/7 just trying to keep the lights on at their clients. And I would say that's not a good fit for a formal CRM system, because you need to grow to a certain level in your company growth. So a company that has 5 people, it might be too young to really have a formalized CRM system, but they might still need to track clients and stuff. And so it'd be very lightweight. You don't want CRM to get in the way of business. You want it to help. And so for example, where we fit is of a company of a certain size. Okay, I have a couple of salespeople, and their job is focused on selling. And I maybe have a marketing service, or either outsource or in-house. And so when you get to having, 5, 6, 10 people dealing with sales, marketing, and administration, then you have enough focus around enough people to really run a CRM system, a proper one.
Okay.
You have, 1 or 2, it may be a little challenging, because part of what CRM requires is some discipline and some okay, you need to fill out a record, and you need to fill out, what happened next. And then you need to follow up when you're supposed to follow up, right? That's how sales works. If a lead calls you and you don't get back to them for 2 weeks, then it's probably going to be a waste of your time when you call them in 2 weeks and say, hey, I got your information. And they're like, oh, sorry, I've already, talked to somebody and contracted with them 2 weeks ago. Right. So the part of CRM that's hard for smaller MSPs is that it requires that discipline and that focus on sales and marketing, as opposed to if you're doing everything else and that's fine, keep growing. And when you get to the point where sales is becoming something that you need to manage, then CRM fits.
Gotcha. So having a dedicated role and process around that sales and marketing to utilize CRM as a tool, not as a solution.
Yeah, because if you just have a mess, what I can't think of the saying, and maybe you can think of it, but it has to do with automating things, right? If you don't have a good process and you automate a bad process, you're just going to get more of the bad process, right? You don't want to automate something that's already tangled and clunky and doesn't work well. So part of what we do is we help a client understand what a traditional sales process looks like and what a traditional lead to revenue looks like. Bring in that company's secret sauce. Everybody can't be carbon copies of one another, because everybody's different. Every company's different. But there are some patterns. And then you just kind of take them through the patterns and help clean up the process.
Right. I don't know the phrase that you're talking about. I know that I saw a phrase the other day that I wasn't sure if I would ever use it, but it talks about the fact that process flaws are not fixed by technology alone. So that
and that's really, really, really core. I mean, you come on my team. You're hired. But it's absolutely right. CRM does not fix people or process.
Right.
CRM is an automation tool. It can do some really amazing things, but without people on board and without the people coming to the table and needing it just doesn't, it doesn't work as well, because you're just automating things to automate them.
Right.
It makes you feel good. Hey, I've automated this, but your process was broken to begin with, and now it just breaks faster because it's automated.